continue to conduct raids on neighboring communities, destroy property, and cause massive displacement of people. These attacks are unacceptable and must come to an end.
The Azimio la Umoja opposition coalition wants Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki summoned to Parliament over the deadly clashes that have rocked Sondu area on the Kericho-Kisumu border.
We call upon Parliament to immediately summon the CS of Interior, now that his defense counterpart appeared before the Senate yesterday, and he actually ducked this question. He passed the buck to his Interior counterpart. We want him to explain to Parliament and by extension the nation,
as well as the intended deployment of Kenyan security forces to Haiti.
They paint a picture of a nation that is losing the battle to gangs and terrorists. We therefore find it strange, while the country is clearly grappling with internal security problems, the Ruto administration is taking 1,000 police officers to Haiti to fight a war that is not of our own, on a territory that is far away, over 12,000 kilometers from Kenya. We cannot send 1,000 of our young men and women in uniform in harm's way over 12,000 kilometers away without the people of Kenya, through their elected representatives in Parliament, having a say as to whether this is in our national strategic security interest or it's motivated by other interests. In this regard,
addressing the media on Thursday, Azimio leaders led by Raila Odinga wondered why the Interior CS is yet to comment on the Sondu clashes that have left several people dead and scores of others injured.
While the latest eruption of insecurity at the border of Kisumu and Kericho County, where scores of people have been killed and many injured in Sondu, huge sections of the country are actually under siege.
Alleges that big names, including leaders and politicians from Kericho and in the national government, are behind the violence and mayhem in Sondu.
In particular, we are demanding investigations to be carried out against individuals who have been implicated as sponsors of the violence, who include the Kericho County Governor, Dr. Eric Mutai. These leaders must abandon the expansionist tendency. The violence and mayhem in Sondu is not an ordinary disagreement between villagers. Big names are behind this violence. They include leaders and politicians from neighboring counties and in the national government. We view these latest incidents in Sondu as part of a long, off and on history of violence instigated by politicians who have on numerous occasions incited the different communities against each other, and local leaders who have been implicated in these activities. The apparent bias, indifference, and helplessness of security officers in the area as violence has raged on clearly indicate that big names are behind the fighting and the mayhem in Sondu.
Further, Azimio claims Kericho County leaders are keen on claiming Sondu town in the upcoming boundaries delimitation process by the IEBC,
through which they are seeking to extend the boundary of Kericho County with a view of claiming Sondu town. We are convinced that this violence is being sponsored by local politicians who have set their claim on part of Kisumu County during the envisaged boundary review that is coming soon. We strongly condemn the senseless murders prevailing in Sondu.
On the plan to send Kenyan security officers to Haiti, the opposition coalition wants the Interior CS to explain why the government is failing to prioritize the security situation in the country and protect lives and property of Kenyans in Sondu, North Rift, Northeastern, and Lamu.
Several KDF soldiers aboard a Kenya Air Force chopper died in a crash within the terror-prone Boni Forest in Lamu. We believe this was an Al-Shabaab attack. Attacks by Al-Shabaab militants have become commonplace in Mandera and other parts of northern Kenya, with victims being police officers, teachers, farmers, ordinary residents going about their daily routines. We must never forget that the government has so far failed to address various incidents of insecurity in the North Rift counties of Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Laikipia. In these places,
the Azimio leaders are also questioning Kenya's preparedness for the Haiti security deployment, which they term as a high-risk mission.
Are our police, most of whom can't speak French or Creole, which is the local language there, well prepared to undertake this high-risk mission in a completely different terrain? Are they properly prepared to go on this mission? Or is Ruto ready to sacrifice the innocent blood of Kenyans for American dollars or for international recognition? These are questions Kenyans are asking. We call on Parliament to demand oversight on this matter with a view of protecting the young men and women in uniform who are about to be taken to Haiti for a war that is not ours, and at a time when we need them back home to take care of their fellow Kenyans.
They added that President William Ruto must stabilize and secure Kenya before thinking of sending the security people to what they termed as clearly a mission impossible in a country that had no diplomatic ties with Kenya, only until about 2 weeks ago.
We are therefore urging that Ruto must stabilize and secure Kenya first before thinking of sending our security people to what clearly looks like a mission impossible in a faraway country with whom we didn't have diplomatic ties until recently.
The Raila Odinga-led coalition maintains that the country is actually under-policed, hence cannot afford officers to export.
As a country, we are actually under-policed. As you know, the recommended UN ratio, citizen to police ratio, is 1 to 400. In Kenya, we don't have enough police officers. Our ratio is 1 to over 1,000. We have immediate neighbors to Haiti, like America, that has a surplus. We don't even have enough. So these are some of the issues we want the people's representatives to summon the CS and on behalf of the people of Kenya to question the Haiti deal.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bushebi Juni.